Yes, guys, we are finally back again for the second reaction video of this year. Brbptv reaction vibrations, guys. Be real, be positive. Definitely check out the previous one that I did in the first comment in the comment box below, as well as the reaction on Mr. Lick's reaction as well. Definitely check that vibrations out right there and then. Anyways, guys, with all I said every day, I'm about Mr. Lick's. Let us get into the vibrations for today. Right now, brothers and sisters, as you can see, none other than Senator Lori right there, brothers and sisters, and I think this is a very powerful one. Right there, as I noticed some snippets and whatnot she had to say. But we're going to get into the depth of why this is so necessary. Why people like her are indeed in the right position. Right there, let's take a listen.
You ministers on the other side.
You ministers.
Honorable members, I stand corrected. And I quote.
Yeah, man, you ministers, they're not honorable. They're not honorable at all. This is a you people over there on the next side. But anyways,
I stand in full support of this budget. Full support. But I
full
see
support. I do support it now. But you'll get you'll understand what I'm talking about in a moment.
Why? Because when the monies are allocated in the budget for these ministries, the money is not spent.
Nope, it's not. They are allocating monies within the budget, but the budget monies is not spent on that which they say that they are putting monies towards. You think it's a lie? Okay, let's continue.
As mentioned by the Honorable Minister for Finance during his presentation of the budget on Tuesday, 25th July, there are 5 pillars for a reset within the government service. The first pillar is, and I quote, greater focus on the productive sector, including the allocation of more of government's resources to projects and programs to facilitate sustainable economic growth and increase the number of permanent jobs available in the country.
Which can be done. For example, setting up factories is one of them. Why isn't that being done? You ever ask yourself that question? Why? Well, we're going to get into why in a moment.
During the fiscal year of 2022-2023,
this is the estimates for 2022, 2023, 2024. Okay?
Ministry of Tourism had a budgeted amount of $15 million.
No, this is 2022, 2023.
Increase the number of permanent jobs available in the country. During the fiscal year of 2022-2023, the Ministry of Tourism had a budgeted amount of $15 million.
That's what they budgeted. They budgeted, like they are doing their budget day, they budgeted $15 million for what? Tourism, International Transport and Maritime Initiative. 15 million.
Out of that total, only $1.6 million was spent.
Only $1.6 million was spent. Where did the rest of the money go? Where? You ever ask yourself that question? Where did the rest of the money go? Did it go into pockets? Did they put it in certain place? Where did the money go? I don't know. Well, we'll see.
In such an important ministry, $15 million was budgeted.
For tourism, $15 million.
And you mean to tell me you're only spending $1.6 million of that total? So where is the 89% of that estimated budgeted fund? I listened to the Minister for Tourism speaking of all that has been done, all that's coming, and what I did not hear is one of the core values written in this budget book. Look that one.
Show them.
This one.
This one. That one there.
On page 301, accountability.
Right.
Yes, side. Where is the money?
Where's the money? Where is it? Huh? So you allocated $15 million for tourism and what have you, and only $1.6 million has been spent? Really?
No, in this budget.
No, in this budget, what are we going to do?
We are asking for another $22 million type.
So 15 million couldn't spend. Now we're asking for more. 21 million. 21.2 aka, well, she's at 22, but 21.2, 21.3. We couldn't spend 15 million. We don't know where that money going, but we are allocating new monies now, $22 million for tourism. Okay.
And for tourism, a disrespected total for such a thriving part of the economy.
And it's a $1 billion budget, brothers and sisters. $1 billion.
So ask them for more. But if there isn't enough commitment to spend $15 million that was allocated in the last budget, how are we going to ensure that the $22 million is going to be spent? I see zero commitment.
Zero commitment. Don't you have to look at the past to understand where we're going in the future? When you're doing business, brothers and sisters, what do you tend to look? You tend to look at between 3 to 5 years of a business previous accounting cycles for you to know how to spend, or whether you're giving that businesses a loan to understand if they're going to be making back your profits, so that you can get repaid the monies that you will be giving the business. If you're trying to get a loan or something for that business, isn't that what normally happens? No? Yes. How on earth we then giving them more without knowing how the others was spent?
Zero, no commitment, nada, none. We need to maintain and develop the many attractions and activities that Dominica offers to visitors. We have many natural attractions, but we need to ensure that we make them easily accessible for our for our visitors to enjoy.
Didn't they say they're gonna be doing something about aerial tram? Didn't they say they're gonna do something about aerial tram now? Where the aerial tram? No, okay.
Through this, a target of 500,000 visitors by 2030 was mentioned. This is more than 3 times the total we are at right now. Through this, a target of 500,000 visitors by 2030 was mentioned.
St. Kitts getting that already, we? Antigua getting that already, Grenada getting that already, St. Martin getting that already. Why Dominica less than 100,000 from the last time I saw Dominica, well, not less, I think it was about 103 or 100 and something thousand people, and Dominica bigger than these other Caribbean islands. And you think, well, based off the budget that they put there from last year 2022 2023, that they only use 1.6, which is about 11% of the entire budget that they allocated for tourism. I mean, that says a lot, eh? No? All right.
This is more than 3 times the total we are at right now. It is impossible to achieve the level of visitors' experience, access, and so on for the expansion of the tourism industry if the underperformance in the development of the listed project that was mentioned in the last year's budget continues.
It's not done.
1. Tourism site enhancement.
So my question is, where did that money go? Well, we'll find out something in a moment.
Budgeted $3,390,932. 2. Support to producers of local juices, $1 million. 3. Small business enterprise development, $500,000. These are just a few listed projects under the Ministry of Tourism for the 2022-2023 budget year, and only $1.6 million was spent.
Wow.
That is a needle's eye of what was budgeted, Mr. Speaker. Only 11% of a $15 million budget.
And they want to put more money now to do what? Where the $15 million go? So we can put another $20 million for it to disappear. And then you wonder why things not happen in the country? Okay.
Magbisa.
Brothers and sisters, let's get into some totals there, man. Let's get into some totals there. This is the 2023-2024 right there. But we'll get to that in a moment, brothers and sisters. Let's get the previous one. Because for us to understand the 23-24, we must understand the 2021 one. So I'm going to make this thing bigger for you guys to see. Okay? So look at all the projects right there. Office of the President. 1 million was budgeted. What is that? 10,000 was pretty much sent right there. So why are they giving 1 million? Is there an office of the president? They still give me a million even though $10,000 was spent. Okay then. Anyways, National Security and Home Affairs. That's 2022-2023. $7.8 million was budgeted. Only 267,000 was spent. Okay, all right. Trade and Commerce, 16 million. I don't think like they have this one. So we'll skip Office of the Prime Minister. I want you guys to notice the Office of the Prime Minister budgeted $7.1 million. Brothers and sisters. But what was spent was $216 million. $7 million they budget, you know. But $216 million went to the office of the Prime Minister. This is not me, that's saying that. Not me that's saying that. That is a 222% increase or 223% increase from the budget of the office of the Prime Minister. And you think where these monies are going, some might say, oh, it go to airport and whatnot. That's not supposed to be on the airport. That's supposed to be on its own category because the Prime Minister that's what he states. Or his airport and stuff. Brothers and sisters, that money not supposed to go on the office of Prime Minister. How on earth do we do these things? Allow these things as citizens to make these things happen. The Prime Minister get the most money out of the entire thing. If you think a line, let's go below. Finance, 17 million was budgeted. 4 million was spent. What's that? Blue and green economy, agriculture and national. 46 million was budgeted. 19 million was spent. Education, human resource, blah blah blah. 19 million was budgeted. That went up. $34.8 million was spent. House of Urban Development, 86 million was budgeted. 127 was indeed spent. That's probably what doing. Let me hey, anyways, health and wellness, brothers and sisters, 15 million. Only 5 million was spent. Rural modernization and Kalinago upliftment, 25 million. 49 million was spent. So that's an increase that actually helped the people. Tourism, 15.3 million was budgeted. Only 1.6. Yet still we're talking about tourism. If not CBI, then they go into tourism, and that is the amount of money they are allocating for tourism. 15 million out of it. That's why let me continue right there. So sports and culture and what have you, brothers and sisters, 16 million. Only 3 million was spent. Then you have establishment, personnel and training department, 600, 100. So that's less than 25%. That was spent there. Public works, $166 million was budgeted. Less than half was spent on that cabinet office. I guess cabinet office would be more. Let me see, 2.3. Well, it came close. 2.0. So, brothers and sisters, the people who are actually benefiting there, the main person that increased in the budget, brothers and sisters, right there was none other than the office of the Prime Minister. Now, let's look at the budget of this year. Now, there's a $1 billion budget. The stated office of the president. We're looking at that again. So, 0.14% of it is actually being budgeted. National security is okay. Less than 1% is being budgeted. Elections, but that self is another. Would they be split? But anyways, let's they have elections in 2024 now. I don't know. Maybe they put in that towards the electoral commission, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, less than 0.5%. Now, office of the Prime Minister, $265 million they put in towards that. That is a 37.88% of the budget. Office of the Prime Minister. Office of the Prime Minister, brothers and sisters. This is not for the people. The things that will actually benefit the people there are agriculture, tourism, and these kind of things there. Now, if you combine all of them, they would still not equate to the total of the office of the Prime Minister. And you think the government care about all you? The things that can actually help the people for agriculture, fisheries, blah, blah, blah. Only 6%, 7% of the budget. Training and national excellence, only 3.3%. Housing and urban development, 9.8%. Health, Margaret's health. That's why people complain about the hospital and Irving McIntyre come and say, oh, we have the best medical hospital that can be compared to first world countries. I have been to first world countries. I've never seen such madness in my life. Never. Madness in my life. Yes, there are mistakes made by the medical fraternity, but not like the chaos that is happening in Dominica at all. And guess what? It's only 1.65% or 1.66% of the national budget. Environmental, 5.1%. Tourism, 3%. Mezami, establishment, personal training, blah, 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 1.8%. Foreign affairs, international business, only that's even more than the others combined. But foreign affairs, so that should tell you the priority that Dominica's ministers seem to have. Office of the Prime Minister taking up almost 40%. 37.88%. Really? 88%, brothers and sisters. Budget of, well, the total, grand total there, but the budget is 1 million. Of course, you might have little arrears and whatnot. This is what the government puts in. This is the budget, brothers and sisters. So that means the establishment of extra monies must come from the people. So you think that the money is coming to the people will help the people? No, brothers and sisters. It's going to the office of the Prime Minister, for which, remember, the office of the Prime Minister was receiving $64,000 a month to stay in the mansion. You forget that? I heard that the mansion that they were building stopped because of some family issues that they having. But we'll leave that alone, brothers and sisters. Anyways, let's continue going. That's one of the things that I like about Lori. Lori, she doesn't care. She doesn't need intimidation kind of vibes. She will hold you by your scrotum. She holding them by their scrotum. Look at what they tried to do her right there.
But Kulibi Street, the hard-working bar owners did their thing, and I applaud them for that. If it was not for them, there would not have been a Fed Kulibi Street.
Yeah, they start to talk. Just listen to what she does.
For them, there would not have been a Fed Kulibi Street. Then we sit here and listen to the representative for the Central East constituency say that
members.
And this is what we do. We listen when I talk to you.
Please allow the senator to deliver.
One can talk at a time, and this is how it goes.
Shut them up! Tell them shut them up!
But Kulibi Street, the hard-working bar owners did their thing. If it was not for them, there would not have been a Fed Kulibi Street.
It's interesting, brothers and sisters, when I look at the sphere of the different constituencies in Dominica, the constituencies that are at the top are the very ones that are against the government. Salisbury and Marigot are the top of the top. Portsmouth used to be the number one. Portsmouth fell from grace because of the very government themselves. The very government that caused Ross to leave. Because when Ross went to Barbados and they made the statement, we finally have a competent government that we can work with. And speaking with some of the individuals that I know there, they said that they didn't want to go. Speaking with some of the students that left as well, they said that they rather Dominica, they like Dominica, they rather Dominica. But because of the foolishness of the very Prime Minister himself, causing Dominica to go, which apparently now we are hearing that is, you know, the number one landlord in Barbados. Well, it's alleged. it's alleged. It's alleged, brothers and sisters. But that is crazy right there. That is crazy. Let's continue.
I recall 3 years ago, the past representative for the Salisbury constituency was promised over 90 acres of land for the young farmers in the Southern York area.
So they're making promises, they're putting budgets in place, things that can actually help the people. They underspending this budget, but they overspending the budget for the Prime Minister. They overspending the budget for foreign, for things that have to do with the outside world. They're not doing much for Dominica, brothers and sisters. And then the people stand up there clapping. Oh, he doing so much for us, brothers and sisters. This is not me that saying things. This is it. Look. Ay. You might mean something else there. It's right there in your face. Right there in your face to see if they really care about you, brothers and sisters. They really care. Look at the budget. 265 million going to the office of the Prime Minister. And then what going to housing? 69 million, 23. Health, 11 million. Tourism, health not important for the people, no? $11 million. You don't think there's a problem there? When $265 million going to the office of Prime Minister, and this is just in a $1 billion budget, for which was allocated to be 700 in total. So they have an additional 200 and something million dollars for which they haven't catered to. Obviously, you have to leave a leeway in that regard. But when it comes down to actually helping the people, we need better health, and you budget in $11 million for health. We need better tourism for facilities and advertisement. You budget in only 21 million. Agriculture, $47 million. When agriculture itself need help, Magwesa, it need the blood of Jesus in agriculture to save it, you know. Because I remember looking at one of the statistics, brothers and sisters, it was on $15 million that agriculture brought in for the year. $15 $15 million, and I'm making an argument with an individual, and the individual tell me over $200 million was spent with. Me you telling that? I look like a tether? I look like a brand fool. That is why you telling me them things there. Brothers and sisters, we have to look at it and see who is really being affected here. It seems like everything is for the Prime Minister. Who knows how the Prime Minister is spending? Oh, he spent $265 million. $265 million spent for the Prime Minister, which was budget. The budget for 2022-2023 was $7 million. The man brought the thing to $215 or $216 million. Now it even increase 265, while all the other industries, the growth factors of Dominica, guys, I literally tell you something if you don't want to listen, that aligns with what the Prime Minister stated to you guys, and you clapped. He said this is aligning, we are aligned with the New World Order. And the New World Order is for the World Economic Forum principle, where you will have nothing, you will own nothing, and you will be happy. You're not happy just being slaves to people, and it seems like that's what is happening in Dominica. When you're asking ourselves, how on earth we have all these monies, but they're not putting monies towards building, finding markets. The Prime Minister stated that he would be finding markets. That never seemed to happen. We'll look, Laurie, talking about the agricultural lands, 90 acres, that never happened. So they're making promises to the people that can actually benefit the people, and they're not doing it. Yet still they're putting monies for themselves. Office of the Prime Minister, over $250 million. In comparison to all the other industries, that doesn't reach them. Really? I mean, people all you don't see. Then we have the Ted Kalbas and Mr. Speaker coming and say, oh, we're not selling passports. But let me go back to what Laura was saying.
Promised over 90 acres of land for the young farmers in the Savannah area. The young farmers were contacted, given forms to fill out, but to this day, there is no formal communication regarding this land. The farmers are running impatient.
Not just that. I remember in Cambridge, they had some kind of thing about agriculture. They brought a set of people there. I was there. I wasn't part of it, but I was there because some of my friends came to it. So when they came to Cambridge and were having this camp thing for agriculture, brothers and sisters, I was there. Outside, when these people go inside, then they doing their meeting and whatnot, talking about who's going to set up poultry and what have you. I know individuals that tried to start it and had to leave the country. Absolutely nothing came from it. Nothing came from it. Well, from their perspective, the individuals that were there, they said nothing came from it. But they were having meetings though. It's like having meetings and giving, just like how they did the electoral reform thing. They were having meetings, several meetings to make the people think. And I told you guys what was happening. People don't like to listen, you know. They were having several meetings, making you believe that something is going to happen. When they were just killing time. They're killing time electoral reform, they've been done yet. Now they make a new thing for electoral reform. They beat some person. And what the person presents is foolishness. They have no clarity, no detailed structure, nothing like that. So in other words, what we have was much better than what this individual is presented, because then the Prime Minister can then find loopholes and all kinds of things which are easier to find now, to then just run rampant. And you think that the citizens should not accept that? Well, some of the citizens, they don't think. But they're looking to see the Prime Minister making $265 million, and they're looking to see if they can get a $500. The things that the budget is supposed to actually help in agriculture, tourism, making the construction industry for the people, not for the foreigners. When foreigners have to go and beg when local people have to go and beg foreigners for jobs in the industry that they can actually do. You mean to tell me Dominicans can't build airports? You mean to tell me Dominicans can't build housing? We have to take somebody from overseas. When that money can come in the consolidated fund, brothers and sisters, if you understand how money works, that money can come in the consolidated fund, which it's supposed to, then that money is used to hire the individuals with the expertise in Dominica to do the things that of which they have been doing for years. This is why a lot of people are leaving Dominica. Look, I just told you guys the other day, an individual closed down his 2 businesses, took his family and got the heck up out of Dominica for him to find betterment. Brothers and sisters, how on earth we have land? Then the office of the Prime Minister will come and say, hey guys, we're going to find the market, so all you have to do is get the thing. But then look, these people are Salisbury complaining and saying, hey, where the 90 acres of land that you stated that you're going to be giving to us? For us to do the very thing that you want us to do? Guys, we are Dominica, and Dominica are full of land where we can plant fruits, create medicine, create products from fruits, sell fruits. Just name it, we can do it. None of that is happening. Yet Irving McIntyre coming and say, hey guys, we can equate ourselves to that of the international first world countries. You're foolish. Who you telling that there? Brothers and sisters, when I'm making statements, I don't like to attack the individual personally. I'm not attacking them. I am attacking the things that they are saying and doing. Because some of them, I roll with them, Yes. I just roll with some of them. If you just see my WhatsApp videos, you see sometimes I roll with particular individuals. I don't hate the person. I hate their dirty ways. That's why I keep saying, stop your dirty ways, people. Stop your dirty ways. But people don't seem to understand the concept. They only want, hey, I get me $500. Oh boy, I get a $5,000. Boy, that is wonderful. Who can ever do that for me now? Your Tebe, if you was actually making things in the economy, you'll be getting way more than $5,000 per year. Way more than that. But instead, you sit and beg lazy. Oh, well, I have to remember what Professor Lumumba, probably one of the wisest Africans in this present day, he said the people get what they truly deserve. And the statement of Harriet Tubman with the essence of that, with the indication, brothers and sisters, where she stated, I free hundreds of slaves, I free hundreds of slaves, and could have freed 1,000 more, thousands more, if only they knew that they were slaves. Brothers and sisters, we are walking in a system that are making us slaves, making us beg. And you think begging is freedom. No, it's not begging freedom, because you have to constantly beg. When you beg, they will remove the things that can actually make you independent of begging. And then you have to constantly beg. But that's what they actually did in Dominica. They removed the surplus. All the businesses that closed down. Ross left. 40% GDP left Dominica. Just like that. Because the government refused to do the things that they stated that they will be doing for Ross. This is why when Ross stated, they literally made this statement. They didn't have to, but they made this statement, brothers and sisters, talking about they finally have a competent government that they can work with. They were working with Dominican government, and it's nonsense that was happening. You don't think I know what was going on? Anyways, brothers and sisters, let me know your thoughts, man. Definitely check out the previous reaction I did today, guys. That will be in the first comment in the comment box below, as well as a reaction that I will be doing on the Miss Lake's reaction, guys. So definitely check out that vibrations right there. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up if you understand it. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification. Big up Laurie one time. Give this video a thumbs up for Laurie. Big up for definitely doing a thing. And of course, I really enjoyed that part right there. You have to bring them to preschool.
And I applaud them for that.
Bring them to preschool.
There would not have been a Willfully history. Then we sit here and listen to the representatives.
It's like children, real talk, children.
For the Central East
We have to treat them like children.
20 said that.
Members.
And this is what we do. We listen when I talk to you.
Please allow the senator to deliver.
One can talk at a time.
She said, let's go.
And this is how it goes. You listen.
Big up Laurie for that right there. Anyways, guys, like I said before, I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Be real. Be positive.